we are continuing with designing a presentation. Now, if you remember, in the last video, we went over a number of things. We went over how to change themes, variants, layouts, changing backgrounds. We also went over how to insert your footer and slide number and date. We went over the different types of hyperlinking, how you can add action buttons, how you can hyperlink pictures, words. We created sections, and as you can see, the sections are still here. We moved the sections. We named the sections. If you can't remember how to do that, you need to refer back to the Design 1 video. We also went over, which most of you knew, the three of the ways that you can start a presentation. Today we are going to go over Slide Master. Now, if you look, all the changes we've made before have been on individual slides. There is a way to change the way all slides look in your presentation, or all slides of certain types look in your presentation. So we're going to go look at that. First, to get to Slide Master, you need to go to the View tab. You click View. If you'll notice, you have your presentation views. You want to go to Slide Master. Now notice, it took us to this slide. Notice this bar is down here. We are not at the top slide. The top slide is actually labeled number 1, and all these are linked to it. So let's close this for a moment. I want to show you something. So if we're here, this slide is called, on the Layout tab, Title and Content. Is represented on Slide Master. So again, you go to View, go to Slide Master. Each one of these, if you mouse over, is one of your layout slides. This is the one I use most, which is the Title and Content. It'll tell you how many slides use it. If I change this, I go into my Home tab. Notice how I've changed the title. When I go back to Slide Master and close the view, all the titles on the slides that use that particular layout are changed. The ones that use the other layouts are not. So if I took it, I changed this layout right here. I go into my Layout tab and change this layout to a different one. Notice how it changes back to the original type. But if I go in and change it here, it's using what I changed in Slide Master. Any changes you make to individual slides only affect that slide. If I want to change every single slide, I have to go to where the slide is number 1. That's your master slide. Everything I change in there will now change on every single slide I use. It doesn't matter which one. I'll go with it. We need something different. So we're going to change it so you can obviously notice it. We're going to change it to Wingdings. Notice how on here, every single slide title changed. Oops. Except for the one that we edited, changed to Wingdings. So when we go back out of Slide Master, except for the one we've already made a change to, it's changed to Wingdings. Once you change it in here, if you change the individual slide, it'll stay. If you change the master slide, it changes everything but slides you've individually changed. So if you want to change the entire presentation, you need to go to Slide 1. So if you wanted to just make everything bigger, you could go to Slide 1, increase the font size so it's what you want to see. You can create a new kind of slide layout in here. A new slide layout. There's several ways you can do it. You can add a custom slide. Okay, so here we click this, Insert Layout, and it gives us a new slide. If we click in the presentation, it just adds it within the presentation. If you're on Slide Master, it adds it at the end. So we've clicked to add a new slide. At this slide, we can do it however we want to do. They have placeholders here. You can add a content placeholder, text, picture, charts, tables, smart arts, anything you want. So if we wanted to add content, we can do this and draw it in, and it comes out. We can also go to the insert page, and we can draw a text box and add that. And that becomes ours. Notice the text box didn't add anything but the text box. We get to design how we want it to look inside. Once we've added the text box, we get the format tools. You can make the height. Notice how the outline on my box is changing. And the width. anything you choose. And you can give it a shape effect. We can add our little bevels and our other shape effects here. Shape styles, shape effects. We can change our shape fill. You can add text in here. So let's show what happens if we add text. So we've added some text. And if we want to make sure the box is as tall as we want it, we can make the box as long as we want. Okay, so we've added that. The next thing you want to do is you want to go back to Slide Master and you want to rename this. Because if you're creating a new slide, it's going to default to custom layout. Now when we close master layout, now when we go to back to our regular presentation, we go into new slides, you notice that it is here. And we can add it, and now we have a new slide, our layout. But back in Slide Master, suppose we wanted to go in here and we wanted to have a custom picture as our background. The first thing you would want to do is get rid of whatever background is there to make your custom picture. First, you would want to click on the first slide. You would go into Slide Master. Notice how they have their themes here? You would pick a blank theme. Now it's blanked out all but the one we created, and it's changed the colors on this one because our theme has different colors. Next, you would go to Insert, and you can insert a picture. We all know whose pictures I'm using. So we go get our picture. Because we want our picture to be in the background, we're going to go and send to the back. Now notice how all the words are. Now you probably would want to change the color of your font so that it stands out. We're going to go with white, and I'll show you why in a moment. Okay. Because the other thing we're going to do is we're going to add a background color. We go to Slide Master, Background Styles. Notice how now we have our background color, we have this. Now when we close Slide Master, those of you, he's the background on every picture, on every one. Everything's changed. And the last thing I needed to show you, which we just did, was changing the background. Excuse me, if you go to your Slide Master, you have background styles. If you want it on just one slide, you pick the one slide and you put it on that slide. If you want it to appear, that background to appear throughout the entire slide presentation, you would go to the master slide. Let's close down our master view. And just to remind you, your homework for this will be due on Wednesday. And your next topic, we're going to start talking about how you add a table into your slide presentation.